talking credit, let's give credit to the Nairametrics team for always helping us, you know, put some soothing oil on this pain, this injury, financial injury of ours, and see how we could live life better. Ogiva is seated, ready for today's edition of the show. Ogiva, morning to you.
Good morning, Kayode. Good morning, everybody. First, I want to apologize for the delay. You just had some minor technicalities before I say technical qualities.
No, you can say technical glitch. I'm just comparing you with INEC.
Very good to be back in the studio. Today we're talking about how to raise funds as a startup. You know, it's very frustrating when you have a very great idea and you bring it to life, and you get to a stage where it's just capital that you need to move forward, right?
Yeah.
And you're stuck within that loop of trying to get the money, so definitely, obviously, within trying to achieve that, there are some hurdles, and today we're looking to share insights on how we can go about it. And I'm not here alone. I have Israel Ojoko, senior financial analyst with Nairametrics. Israel.
Thank you very much for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Well, I'm good. I mean, interesting topic we have here to discuss, and there are ideas. Everybody wants to do business. Everybody have idea for business. But you always get to that part where you are stuck with capital to start your business. I mean, there are a lot of things involved in terms of looking for capital and running a business. So that point is a point where a lot of ideas get to die, because you can just keep that. You can have that big plan and everything, but how do you put it? How do you put it into work?
Okay, so sorry to cut you.
Yeah, sure.
But with what you said, many startups in Nigeria actually struggle to make funds, to raise funds. From your experience, what mistakes do you think they make along this path?
I mean, raising fund is a big thing, right? But the mistake they make is, some of them, when they raise this fund, how do they spend it? It's one thing to raise fund, it's one thing to be also accountable for the fund. And also, how you raise this fund determine how you are accountable for it, how you spend it. For instance, if you raise fund from family and friends, you may want to lay back or not be under pressure to deliver, to give account, right? But if you raise fund from venture capital, from loan, microfinance banks and the likes, you want to, you have a timeline to make sure that these people that are investing in you, they are seeing the growth of your business, and also a return on investment within a particular time.
Okay, I was going to ask you for the solutions, right?
Yes, I was going to go to that. Before we talk about the mistake they make after getting the money.
Yeah, exactly.
The biggest mistake here is a lot of people make a mistake just playing around. And okay, let's say it this way: some people look for money. People who are not connected to high places, who do not have any expertise, greenhorns, they try to start a business, look for money, get the money to start a business. The same greenhorns on another side, or even people who are even better positioned, struggle and they never get money. What mistakes did they make that prevented them from getting money to start the business? Or how did they go about it? Did they go about it the wrong way? Or what are the simple mistakes that
people
a lot of us make?
Exactly.
And we keep saying, I don't look for money for 5 years. This Nigerian.
So
I know someone that literally said that recently. Go on, sorry.
So it still boils down to how you spend the money. How you spend the money. So a lot of people, I mean, there are a lot of ideas. Ideas are everywhere. But getting money and knowing that you are accountable, you have to deliver, and you have to. I mean, you want to create solution. The reason why, I mean, your product, your app, your services is to create solution to problems in the society, in the country, on the continent, in the world, and and people trust you. Right, you've convinced them enough with your idea, and they trust you that okay, this can play out, this can work. Let's put in something, and then they gave you some money, and in this part of the world, what people do, most startups, I mean, what the most founders, when they get the money, their lifestyle change. Like, moving from Abule Egba to Aja or to Lekki,
so generally living above your means,
to join the big boys and start living a kind of life they shouldn't have lived that early. Right, until they get their business to a certain extent before they are supposed to upgrade their lifestyle. But the problem is they do it too soon, too early, and in some cases, some even jackpot. Some even jackpot as soon as they get this fund, they jackpot and they operate their business from abroad. And if you are in a business in Nigeria, it is very difficult to operate the business from outside the shores of the country. That is just the reality.
Right. But I mean, adding to that, I from another perspective, I think one of the mistakes that a lot of startups make that prevents them from launching is that at times they look for money that they don't need.
True.
Because, for example, you have a house, probably your parents' home. You're not married. You have a rented apartment somewhere. You want to start a business that will require you using probably some more space. Your parents, all the kids are out. They are the only ones at home. The easiest thing to do at that point is have a chit chat with your parents. If you've been a good child, and your parents are good parents, at least they should be able to allow you come back home. Maybe it's a 5-bedroom apartment. This parents only live in one, and you need.
So this is you making a sacrifice, right?
This is you making a sacrifice. Yeah. You can just say, okay, I'm living my rent. I'm going to move into this space. So one, I'm cutting down on cost of moving from home to office. Then two, I'm cutting out completely the cost of renting a space for my office. And you can start that business from that space. There's this program, it's defunct now, Mall for Africa. It started in the UK. They were into, is it transshipment or they were middlemen for Nigerians that want to shop abroad. I bought some things from them. So all those websites abroad that are scared of taking Nigerian cards or they don't know how the process, they became middlemen. They spoke to them. So you log on to their website.
Oh, okay.
You pay on the website. They remit to the company. They take your delivery and send it to Nigeria for you. They handle the customs. You just pick it up at their office or in Nigeria. And it became a sensation. I mean, I think got interviews on CNN, the Tech Cabal or Tech something, all this website. It was really celebrated. Now, why am I using him as an example? He said he started from his garage in America. And how did he start? Whenever he's coming home, people tell him, "Babe, let me buy this, let me bring this for me." So he felt, I'm buying all these things for you. And they don't mind paying for the excess luggage. So he just decided, why don't I just go around, do this shopping, and send it home? And he started gradually. And within a year, he moved from the garage to a huge warehouse in America. So at times, we're looking for money that we don't need. We have some things around us that we could start with, but all we're concerned about is getting one major standard, getting this place, beautify the place, and get the business started.
I agree with you. So a lot of people make that mistake really as startups. So you've given one example. This is family, right?
Family.
This is family, and obviously
without asking for money.
Without asking for
you give me money.
And if you also, when you're having that talk with your parents, this is just adding a little to what you just said. You can also speak to them if they can invest. Your siblings, likewise. Another way, I want to add is also identifying. I've realized you shouldn't work alone, right? Especially when starting a business. Starting alone is the worst thing you do to yourself. So generally find a team. There'll definitely be people that will share that idea with you and be willing to, make the effort. So if you're a group of people, your capital commitment is lower, right? And you are guaranteed a team that will generally work with you and follow that idea. I mean, this
Yes,
is
sir, yeah.
this is working with being positive. You understand? So that one as well, crowdfunding, also, Abi.
Yes,
As well.
crowdfunding.
But before you
And
go into crowdfunding, I want to ask a question based on what you said,
Yeah.
getting people. Now, we've seen a lot of people that started business, and it's the people around them that pull them down. So, how do you identify, not money now or sources to make money, but how do you identify people, credible people that you can work with who lift you up rather than pull you down?
okay, so I think what you just said is like you're having a business and you are rendering services for, should I say, for free, or you are considering, okay, it's my family, let me do it on basic, you'll pay me back later, and that one say, it's not my brother, don't worry, I'll still pay you, and it's difficult for you to ask for money or demand the money they are owing you. But in terms of raising capital, you like he said, you need to look for somebody that has the same direction with you, the same idea with you, the same focus, someone that is going to the same place like you. It doesn't have to be many people, maybe one or two. And when you guys come together, or if you guys come together, and your personal savings, before you come up with an idea, you must be working before, having something, saving before, and you guys come together and start with what you have, right? So personal saving is also one of the ways to raise capital for business. You were saying that you are talking about crowdfunding. Yes, crowdfunding is good, but it's quite rare getting crowdfunding for business. Most of the crowdfunding we see these days are for emergency. Somebody has problems, somebody has issues, and people emotionally contribute money for them to solve those issues. But when it comes to you want to do business, people rarely crowdfund for you, in terms of using those GoFund and the likes of them to gather money for you. So yeah, venture capital, as we said, angel investors, incubators and all that. Those are other of the ways you can raise capital for startup.
So I want to ask a question. How do you approach an angel investor?
Okay, so sometimes they throw it out. They are the one that throw it out and open for you to come and showcase what you have. Let's see what you can do. Let's see your idea, if it's something we can put in money into. So if you need to track these investors and know the time they are seeking for
Businesses.
open, yes,
Yeah.
so when you
pitches.
track them, when you see that they are opening for pitches, why not you apply for it, then you go showcase yourself, and if your idea is good, yeah.
We've not mentioned the bank since.
No.
Banks also give loan. I think I said it earlier. Microfinance banks, majorly microfinance bank, but
Except
you know the
you're into
condition
farming.
around it.
And you have like 20 hectares. It's easy to get a loan that you used to farm on 2 hectares. So in
No.
case you default, you can take your
No,
20
I think
hectares.
well, you can get. I'm sure
You can get, but
it depends on what
relationship
you're asking for
and then relationship
your financial
also.
status.
Yes, true.
But
True.
not for newbies.
Yes,
Newbies
not for
hardly get
newbies.
support from banks. And I was speaking on this newbies thing. I was speaking with a colleague a while ago, and I said, I don't necessarily blame the banks. And the reason is this. We don't have a culture of financial management in Nigeria.
Yeah.
But if you go to the West, for example, a teenager, has an account. A teenager a teenager, yes. You see that teenager working at the mall or the mats of a filling station. You see a teenager at home saying, I need maybe a new phone or a new thing, I want to buy this. That teenager has savings. Yet the teenager will not go to the account to withdraw money. The parent or the people around that teenager will encourage you, okay, go do this work. If you do this for me, I'll pay you. And that teenager makes money to buy that particular thing. The money in their banks are often saved. So if you grow up in such a system and you have a track record of working at a filling station, at a supermarket at different times over the last 10 years, and I see that your account has been consistent. You're not just taking
So you
money out
have
of
some
the account.
form of history,
History.
right? Financial history.
Yes. So if you approach a bank with that, it's easier for the bank to say, okay, if you've been able to do this consistently for 10, 15 years, 20 something, I can invest in.
Backed up with your great idea, though.
Yeah, exactly. Of course, with a great idea.
Yeah.
But in Nigeria, maybe it was when you go to university, you open your account. And that account, the alawi that your mom or your parents send to you stays there for one day.
Yes.
It really enters, you withdraw everything.
Especially in this time.
It's not even enough.
It's not even enough. You know, and your credit score, whatever, keeps fluctuating.
Yeah, true.
I mean, how would you approach a bank to say you have a great idea?
You'll be demoralized.
Exactly.
So that's where relationship comes in. I mean, as much as we try to dodge it, you still need to have this connection, this network, this relationship with people that can say, okay, I know him, or they'll just sign for you, right? So as you said, Greenhorn just coming from nowhere and said, I need 10 million naira, I have this good idea. Which idea you get, we'll never see. They're just like, what do you want?
Experience people feel.
Right? So who are you?
They're just like, so what? You want to build an app that will do this? Okay. So they'll continue procrastinating and all that and you get tired, right? And look for alternatives. So in that case, but if you have like a popsy, a father that is maybe a bank manager before in a branch, and or is a friend to this and that, and daddy, this is what I want to do, and like, okay, let me talk to $10. Let me talk to this. Let me talk.
Reputation will work for you.
Right.
Yes. It ties into this book I'm reading, More Than Money. More Important Than Money by Robert Kiyosaki. Rich Dad Poor Dad. And he was speaking there. He said that some brands are better or have greater value than the business. And I was like, what does that mean? They said that for a brand like Coca-Cola, for example, that name, Coca-Cola, is worth more than their biggest factory.
Yeah.
That the name, if you want to buy, you're buying that name, and it's worth, according to him, as at that time, between 90 to 120 billion dollars. That's the value of that name. So at that point, if your father speaks for you, it's not you they are saying.
At all. They are saying the brand.
At all.
But to add to what he said, referring back to the West, right? I feel something that also makes them, the way you explained it, is because they live by the month, right? They pay their rents at the end of the month. They pay all their bills at the end of the month. So you have to be working to be able to survive. So if you are not working, you're finished, right? You probably don't have a roof over your head. It won't happen overnight. It might happen overnight, but that's where the story ends. If you are not working,
and family doesn't take on your responsibility.
They have their bills to pay. They have their bills to pay at the end of the month.
Take all your responsibility.
Exactly.
Yes.
So do you think if we had that system in Nigeria, it will give us some financial stability?
Again, because it's just like 10 seconds.
Okay, all right then. Okay, we're out of time, guys. Thank you for joining us today. Once again, we apologize. Thank you, Israel, for being here. We look forward to seeing you next week. Catch up with us on Spotify and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you next week. Bye.
And that's it. As we end this, Poju from Lagos says, good morning, guys. Nice conversation. It's really crazy getting any loan from any bank in Nigeria. So cumbersome. We should be, because not so in other climes. Even the federal grants we applied for 2 years back. Till date, my brother, don't complete that statement.
I think we'll talk about that next week.
We should.
We'll talk about getting loans from banks.